Okay. Apologies about the delay here. Just trying to get everything set up. Honestly, it is the first time in a long time for using Twitch. So I'm hoping everything should be okay. Time in a okay. Seems alright, I guess. Obviously I'm gonna have to wait for anybody in the chat to tell me whether they are fine with the settings. But nonetheless, I guess we'll carry on and see how we go from there. Now, the idea today is to play as Carlist Spain. Now, in the historical focus mod, the historical flavor mod, I should say, Carlist Spain does have some alternate history, which is really interesting. Basically, I can set the Carlists on the throne, well, in power, I should say, and we can, from there, launch the third Reconquista, which is going to be very, very nice. So we're going to have to prepare for that immediately, and that is not going to be easy. We're going to have to immediately start expanding the Navy. As soon as absolutely possible, I'm going to need a lot of transport, so we're going to have to do this ASAP. So before we even unpause the game, we have to start. Now, medicine is going to be a very nice one to have, as we're going to have to go through a lot of crappy territory in the New World, so that's what we're going to do. We're also going to start influencing the Portuguese, as I would very much like to one day form Iberia. So we can have a united Iberian Peninsula. That would be a very, very, very nice thing to have. Now, I'm also going to start influencing the Empire of Mexico. They're going to be a fantastically useful ally to have in the New World. I could try to form some alliances with some of these New World powers that could come in potentially handy. Sadly, we've not got a good chance here, and we want to move quite quickly. So we do have to be somewhat careful here. The US is going to be something of a large obstacle. So what we need to do is we need to choose a great power ally. The only real other great power of a colonial empire would be the French. I suppose the Russians, but that's more of a land empire than anything. Obviously, it's all part of the Russian Empire, the actual Russian heartlands. Whilst the French obviously have overseas holdings spread across the world, which is quite handy. And they're also very close to me. They would be a very useful ally. I cannot ally the UK, as they are within splendid isolation. So we'll ally the French right off the bat. We're also going to choose some options here and choose our trade policy, which will be aimed at protecting the Spanish economy, basically generating enough wealth from the Spanish economy so that we can actually succeed in the short term and ideally the long term. Let's just see. We'll have Occitania, mostly because I would very much like to one day be a supreme power on the European continent. And that's not going to be so easy if we have a very strong France just on our borders. If we could have something of a buffer state, that would be superb. Okay. I will enable some scrapped and Easter eggs. There we go. So we're going to hide these options now. And yeah, that seems to be about right. Yeah, there we go. We have our option over here now. Become Iberia. That's good to have. So we'd have to obviously own Gibraltar, which is going to be a difficult one to do. And Portugal would obviously either have to be in our sphere of influence or a puppet. But this is quite awesome. So, Gibraltar we could potentially take, if we do have the French backing us, or better yet, the Germans. Ideally the French, due to the fact of their proximity, would be very handy. Okay, so let's get rid of some of these things over here. I don't need to see all these things being constructed constantly. Basically need to concentrate on a few areas. We're going to start raising soldiers as quickly as possible. We'll sort out the economy in a moment too, so let's start the time. Okay, so we have the first Carlist War. Now, put him on the throne. The death of King Ferdinand in 1833 and the ascension of young Isabella, only 3 years old at the time, to the throne of Spain, sparked a revolt by the supporters of the king's brother, the Infante Carlos. He intends to depose Isabella and establish a separate branch of the Bourbon family, as well as restore the Spanish Empire to its traditional glory. Something liberals say simply cannot be done. We will prove them wrong. They will be proved wrong indeed. So there's a lot of prestige lost there from that action, but that's not too bad. Right, so we're going to enable the splendid isolation of the UK until something happens. I do not want colonial railroad in. And here we go, we can begin the third Reconquista should I desire at this moment in time. There will be another option presented to us shortly, so we'll see about that one in a few moments' time. Now we need to gather the navies. We also need to look at saving money ASAP. So what we're going to do from these navies across the world here, across the Spanish Empire, is we're going to disband the man of wars. They're very expensive, very, very, very expensive. In all essence, well, in all honesty, I could probably disband the frigates as well, without any issues. But I'd like to have some kind of protection for my navy, especially as these transports are quite valuable. They will be carrying my troops across the oceans, so we're going to need them. Okay, so I could transport some troops from the old world. So we'll head down here to Cadiz. Start the clock again. Okay, these rebels should disappear in time. Yes, there we go. Okay. So we'll have troops arriving shortly over here at Cadiz. We need to move extremely quickly. I'm going to put these taxes right up here for the time being. We're going to have to make a lot of cash in a very short amount of time. So it is going to require some sacrifices, which is going to be education for the time being. We're going to put down the naval spending to a low rate of about 23%. Just enough to keep the navy from degrading, but obviously it's not going to be the most effective thing ever. Okay, so we have a large group of force here. Okay, not exactly the best, but we'll try and carry as many troops as possible. Okay. We could do with really increasing the bureaucracy. So let's see. We're going to change that from soldiers for the time being to bureaucrats. Make the homeland more efficient so we can make more money. Right, we have a few transports over here now. We'll have another 3 coming shortly. Let's see. From the French, I would like to have military access if I can. There we go. We have military access from the French. That's lovely. Ideally, that will help us out with the actual navy. Ideally, we could gain some of that naval range. That would be quite nice to have, though I don't know if that's going to happen. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Okay. I'm just going to quickly tab out for a moment here just to check something. Okay, yep, everything seems to be good. That's awesome. Just going to go over here. Okay. Right then. Right back into the action. It would be very, very nice if we could have the British join us in an alliance, but that's not going to happen. Mostly because they're isolationists at this moment in time, but we might dream one day. As you can see here, the amount of bureaucrats is going up quite steadily. That's good news. Alright, so I still have only a few transports here. Where are my other transports? The Cuban Armada is on its way, so what we're going to start to do is we're going to start to transport some troops across very, very quickly. So we need to act as soon as possible. The FRCA is allied with Colombia at the moment. Okay. That's going to become something of an issue in the future, but we need to move quickly. So I have my alliance with the Empire of Brazil, which is fantastic news. Let's see. I can't ally Colombia, nor any other nation. The Mexicans are going to be something of an issue, as we do need to subdue them quite quickly. Okay. We do have ships being built over here. These transports will become very handy, as we'll be able to transport our troops across the oceans. Okay, here we go. Restore Spanish rule to Guatemala. The so-called Federal Republic of Central America is quickly becoming a failed state after their illegal breakaway from Spain. We should seize the opportunity and quickly use this civil war as an excuse for the restoration of Spanish authority in South America proper. So to gain some prestige for that, we also need to get our troops over there. We also need to move extraordinarily quickly. So we are going to do that right now. We're going to restore rule as soon as our troops arrive so we can get our armies into the area very quickly. Let's see. Can I also get military access from Brazil? Could be quite handy. I'll give access to the French. There we go. Let's see about some other European allies. The Two Sicilies is usually a good ally to have. Sardinia, Piedmont. Piedmont can be a good ally, depending if you can get the relations up with them pretty quickly. Okay, so I do want to maintain this alliance with the French. That's going to be a very useful thing to have there. Okay, transports are now arriving. Good news. Okay, I'd like to build some hussars in the homeland and in the Philippines. We're going to need them for the reconnaissance value, which will speed up the siege in the New World. Okay. Yeah, we are spending a lot of money right now. I'm going to have to put these tariffs right up here. It's a shame because I don't want to do it, but it means we can make some money now. Right, that's going to be really nice to have. I need to reduce the spending for the time being. Just in any way, shape or form, I suppose you could say. So education's going to have to go down to a suboptimal rate, but if it keeps us in the money, that's fine by me. I may have to reduce my troops a little bit, but we'll see. Now you can see here there are rebels over this way. So we have troops over that, over here. We need to land very quickly. These ships are also on the way. Fantastic news. Let's get in here. We're also going to have to start justifying a puppet casus belli against the Mexicans soon. But we're going to declare the war here. So we're going to restore order to Guatemala. Okay, so I'm going to call on... I could call on the Empire of Brazil. Now let's see. I'll start fabricating a puppet casus belli against the Venezuelans. See if I can get that going while we have the opportunity. I could call the French to see if they will help me, which they will. Okay. Let's land troops over here. We do have some extra troops over here, thankfully 2 infantry brigades, which are quite handy. Okay, troops have been landed, so let's go and land these other 2 brigades of infantry. I'm going to leave these manor walls over here, so we'll break them up. At least then we can try to use their prowess to blockade. Okay, drop off more troops. We need to move quickly and defeat the rebels to keep the FRCA together so we can annex it as one. Which is not going to be as easy as it sounds. We'll influence the Empire of Brazil, which is going to be fantastic to have in the future. Okay, let's deal with some of these rebels. We need a leader over here though, which is something of an issue. It shouldn't be too bad. Okay, we're going to drop some more troops over this way. In the old world, we have 10 transports at the ready. That's fantastic news. Let's get as many troops as we can. Right, 11 transports in a second. 12, potentially. Okay. That's a good amount of troops that we can get over here now. Let's move. So we have a decent commander. There's a lot of troops here. These Honduran nationalists are going to be something of an issue. Let's see. I'm going to increase my spending here to allow my organization to recover. Notice the fact that the Venezuelans have not actually interceded, so we can still get our casus belli, which is actually doing very well here. Very well. We'll influence Portugal too. If I could get an alliance with them, that'd be nice. Need to take them away from the UK before they end up in their influence. Okay, Sweden. Nice to have you on board there, mate. Okay, we're a little bit too late there, that's no problem. But again, let's run the gambit here. We did have those troops who could have attacked. Let's give it a go. Okay. Fine, we'll start again, that's absolutely no issue. The idea here is to be as quick as possible. Aquilarius, why the switch bud from streaming on Twitch? I suppose it's a new place. It's like I did stream on Twitch a long while ago, and I should have continued that. So just trying it out, see how we get on, see if it's any better than YouTube, really. So we're going to go for the bureaucrats to begin with, and we're going to just do things, we're going to do things faster this time. Medicine would be a good one to have to begin with, of course, and indeed. Right, let's start off by producing the navy again. So we're going to need a lot of these clippers as soon as possible. There we go. Have troops converge here in Cadiz. Build those hussars. There we go, they're going to be extremely handy in the future. Ally the French. Ally the two Sicilies. Oh, they want to accept right now, that's a shame. We could get Sardinia-Piedmont. Sardinia-Piedmont is quite a powerful nation too. Let's see. Brazil, of course. Trade policy. Okay. So we need to move these transports quicker. Get everything moving very, very quickly. Have these troops in the Philippines gathered over here so they can be transported across, which will be a fine thing to have indeed. Move those troops. Okay. Let's get things moving. Put the Carlist on the throne. There we go. Seems the French rejected our alliance. Nonetheless, we'll start to influence them again, see if we can improve our relations. Put that right up. Need to make money here to begin with. There we go. Remove some of these. Begin transporting troops across to the New World. Okay, so encouraging bureaucrats, which should help us out a good deal. I need to keep increasing my relations with the French. Ideally, they don't ally another power. That would be nice. You're going to have to edit your room settings moving forward. You're currently on the slow mode, which limits people to a message every 30 seconds. That's okay, then I'll change that afterwards. It's not a big issue, though, to be fair. But I'll definitely change it afterwards. Spanish Armada. Troops over here, too. Okay, so we have the option to... Yep, there we go. We're going to go in and restore order. Those troops will be over there shortly. Let's get rid of these Mala Wars. And we'll get rid of the Filipino Mala Wars too. And there we go. See, these troops could be landed on the coast as well. But obviously they do have to travel much further. So I'm going to need... Where are they? Ideally, I should have some troops being... Yeah, here we go. I need those to be built. Luxury clothing. Something of an issue, but oh well. Okay. So we do lack the support of the French, which is a shame. Ideally, they will come around shortly, but we can still do this without the French. It would have been nice, but oh well. We have no support of any Italian power, except the two Sicilies, which is fantastic news. Right, we need to get on that. At least that is an ally to call. Right, get the troops moving. That's not good, taking on loans. But that's fine, we are making money now. That's good news. Okay, so we're going to restore order to Guatemala. Declare this war. We're going to drop our troops off here. Ideally, they're not intercepted. So actually, what I'd be better off doing is, in fact, moving over here. So we're not going to be hit by rebels. Okay, so we're going to land here. Good news. The fleet has landed. We need to get troops moving ASAP. Okay, not good news. Let's land over here instead. So we need to deal with this Nicaraguan army. The Austrians are offering an alliance. That's interesting. I would rather the French. So we'll decline that alliance for the time being. If they offered again, I could accept and potentially get the French at the same time. But we'll have to see. Okay. Just need to move troops as quickly as possible over to the New World. So that means I'm going to have to grab you over here. Okay, just need some reinforcements, but ideally if we siege down this area we could get some reinforcements in there quickly. Let's grab the troops from the Philippines too. Get them moving ASAP. Okay. Move quickly. I think I need to actually, let's see. There we go, monthly. Can I defeat these Honduran nationalists? I'd imagine so. Let's go do that quickly. Yeah, there we go, we can put them down pretty easily, so that's good news. We're going to have to go and deal with the other rebels very, very quickly, but at least those guys are down. So start moving forward. Right, I need more troops very soon. We do have some troops over here that can be landed. We have some more troops over here too. So we need to get them down on the ground quickly. Really, really, really quickly. Right. This should be enough. We can get these troops ashore in time. We can put an end to this rebellion. Okay, they're moving down here to San Miguel. Right, 25,000 troops. The terrain here is farmlands. That favours me more than anything. There's extra reinforcements on the way. Reinforcements over from the Philippines too. That's good news. Right, land these troops. The rebels are being given a hiding, which is good news. Chase them down. Grab some more troops over here. Send these troops back to the old world. But we're making good time here. Let's see if we can ally the French. Okay. So the Colombians are allied with the Mexicans, which is not good, but oh well. So we're going to start to fabricate a puppet casus belli against the Mexicans. Okay, so we put down those rebels. Let's leave a brigade. That's a lot of infamy. It's not the best thing right now, but oh well. I could have done without it, but nonetheless we'll make do. Defeat the Federal Central American Republic's army. Yeah, we need to deal with those guys. Reinforcements are coming. Good. Very, very good news. Okay, so all the rebels have been dealt with. Okay. Land more troops there. Bring the rest of the army. Right, these ships are more than likely going to die. More than likely. Let's see, can I ally the French? It may be somewhat impossible at this point. We can gain Sardinia Piedmont as well, so that's a good ally to have. So far we do have the Empire of Brazil, which is going to be insanely useful in the future. That's good. Okay. Spread out these brigades so we can siege everything down slowly but surely. But at least it will be done. Okay. Now this is much better. We have a good amount of money coming in now, which is good news. Right, we're getting the Casus Belli against the Mexicans. Fantastic. We'll start to justify one against the Colombians just before we go to war with Mexico. Actually, have I finished that? Yes, I have. Okay. We're going to have to beat them both at the same time. Well, fight them at the same time. And as well, staying at war is going to be beneficial for us as... well, we do need to maintain great power. Well, our status as a great power. So start to fabricate this Casus Belli very quickly. And the Mexican army should be... It's going to be somewhat sizable, but ultimately will be beatable. That's fine. I just need somebody to give me some reconnaissance value. Okay, I can live with that much infamy. The good news is we've stopped the Nicaraguan state from breaking away from the FRCA. Okay, lost those troops, that's a shame. Importantly, we have some hussars over here, so that means we have some actual reconnaissance value there. You can see the difference in having that reconnaissance value. It's insane. Let's take a look at Spain. Okay. So these are looking good. Just move it down, speed up the work. There we go. Yeah, the French are not interested. I suppose we can go for somebody. The Austrians don't like us now. Perhaps the Prussians. Perhaps. As though as the Ottoman Empire. Though none of them are quite useful, it would be nice to have some kind of European power that can have my back on the continent. Speaking of which, I suppose the Austrians would have been a good one for that, but we'll manage without them. Excuse me, I have a little bit of a cold again. That's particularly bloody often. Seems to be the case. Okay, let's deal with those troops. How long does our Casus Belli against Mexico last? So we have this until January 1838. So we need to be very quick. There we go. They are completely defeated now. So what I'll do then is I'll move that Hussar around. Right, so we have both Casus Belli, that's good news. So what I could do is I could launch a war against the Colombians and the Mexicans at the same time. I would love to annex this state first. Ideally we can get that done. Colombia is not much of an issue, but it's more so the Mexicans that we need to worry about. Right, let's move our Hussar around. Okay. Right, we're in September. October. We might be lucky enough to get this done. We'll see. I should be able to wrap this up pretty quickly. I just need to really just gather some troops together into a position where they can actually fight off another army. So we do not have much time, but we'll make use of the time that we do have now. So 22nd of January. And over here it is the 28th of June. So we don't have long, but we can make that work. Yeah. I just need to move around this Hussar. October. We should actually be able to finish this quickly. And possibly in time for the Mexican War. November. Come on now. December. Last few days. Okay, we're gonna have to declare the war against Mexico shortly. We'll declare war against Mexico and Colombia as separate wars. There's another city fallen, another province fallen. Okay. Only a few days now. Right, we'll declare war on Mexico and on Colombia. Okay, now who will join us in our endeavours? Seems we've lost a lot of allies here, but we can get them back. That's fine. The French still do not want to know. I'd imagine it's a lot to do with our infamy. Right, they do not like us as the Spanish. Unsurprisingly so. Okay, so let's see what we can do here. They will not accept. That's not the greatest bit of news. It might be that we have to finish off one more first. We'll see. I reckon we could still deal with them. Indeed. Move that Hussar. We'll be able to annex the FRCA in a moment. Just one more province that has to fall. Okay. I need some more generals. That'd be very nice. Another Hussar is going to be extremely useful. Okay. There we go. Goodbye, FRCA. So you have a victory there. Can we call... They were not accept. And that is a shame. Let's deal with this Mexican fleet over here. Right, Brazil calls for aid. We'll accept in hopes that they will join me in the future. Even so, it does raise our relations. Okay, we have a few troops over here. I'm going to move these troops out. Okay, we could only support a few troops here. What we basically have to do is we have to fight defensively so that we can defeat the Mexican and Colombian army. Usually I would have had some form of alliance to help me out here, but that's fine. It just means that we have to fight harder. Okay, we're actually considered a secondary power now, which is a shame, but I will. I really need an ally to help me. More so for supporting anything, if anything. Okay. Really wish I did not have cold again. Seem to get them all the goddamn time, but oh well. Let's see, can I recruit any troops? We are building troops in Europe, that's good news. These Hussars are going to be very, very handy. Let's see. Okay, the Ottoman Empire might join us, that'd be nice, kinda. I mean, screw it, let's see if they will join. They won't join, they're just going to be there just to be, like, hey. So I heard you are at war, I guess I'm not going to help you though. That's fine. Okay, let's see. So I can get 12,000 troops there. We need some defensive generals. ASAP. Right, here comes the Mexicans. They're going to arrive on the 20th, so only a few days now. Send everybody in here. Actually, no, they're not going to land there. They're heading here. Interesting. Quite interesting, actually. Let's see. Can I send them this artillery? Will that still keep them coming? Yep, that will. That's good news, then. At least then we can do this, potentially. Right, 8th of May. 4th of May. Only a few days now. Do I have a commander with speed? Okay, Van Halen is a good attacking commander. Right, either way, we're going to send more troops in. Also going to spread these troops out over this way. Yeah, we are defeating the Mexican army nicely. Okay, they've been routed. So I have an army here under Van Halen. I'm going to make sure I use that. Move these 20,000 troops this way. Move these troops over here to support. Right, we do have a Colombian army. I didn't pay attention to that, so I'm going to make a mistake here. Unless I can get my... yeah, no, they're buggered. Okay, have them there. Let's see, can I retreat over into the sea? Please let me retreat. I should have been watching Colombia too. Okay, so we have some rebels at home. Right, these guys are going to retreat over to the boats. That's absolutely no problem. We can still win this. Still win this. Just going to use hussars to siege things down. Reduce my attrition as much as possible. Okay, that's a lot of rebels over there. Alright. Let's move the armada home. Do I mobilize? I could potentially mobilize extra troops here. It will hurt the economy. But let's see if I can do that, because those extra troops will be very, very handy. It will speed up the conquest of the New World very, very quickly. I'm also going to pass a reform here. Going to go with illegal trade unions, mostly because that's going to somehow satisfy those Jacobin rebels for some reason. I forgot about that. Okay, that's not good. That was a boo-boo. That was a big boo-boo. That was very, very silly. My bad. Okay. Well, I'll spend it up. Right. Split this arm in half. We need to deal with one side first. We'll have medicine shortly, so that's fine. Once we defeat the armies... okay, so... the Mexicans still have only 5 brigades. That's not too bad. The Colombian army to the south is probably the largest it is. So 11 brigades, probably all about there, more or less. Let's see, can I call the Empire of Mexico? They will accept this call to arms. Good, very good news. Can I call the others? No. That's no problem. We have the Brazilians to help us out here, so that's all we need. That's all we need. So with the help of Brazil, we should be able to win this war in the New World. Pretty handedly as well, which is nice. Mexico can be dealt with. Colombia will be dealt with by the Brazilians. Good news. Not the greatest start, but still, it's a good one. Right, 16th of September. Right, send troops out. Wait for our troops to arrive, our ships to arrive. There we go. 16th. Good to get in there. Just in time to prevent a complete collapse. We'll chase them down to Veracruz. There we go. Take all those troops. Send them over here. Plenty of troops then to deal with Mexico. There we go. They really want to destroy this brigade. So we'll have our offensive general move down here. He'll be reinforced shortly. And we'll have another brigade of hussars, which is going to speed up the siege quite quickly. Well, quite a lot. So the Mexican army has been dealt with and defeated. Of course, I am allied with the Ottomans, but they're pretty useless. There we go, head towards Mexico City. Reinforcements have arrived, and importantly we have hussars. Hurrah for the hussars. There we go. Use this large army here. Once again considered a great power. That's great news. The Brazilians will make their advance. Ideally they can distract Colombia, or at least occupy Colombia for us. Right, so we have a lot of troops here. We are taking a lot of malices, but we are led by the great Van Halen. He should make up for that. Okay. Very good news. Now, things are going somewhat swimmingly, so I'm going to accept that. I'm going to say that's a good thing. So, that's fine by me. Now, once we're finished with Colombia and Mexico, as a great power, we'll be able to create the Viceroyalty of New Spain, which is going to be excellent. That'll be a good, competent ally to have. Okay. Medicine's going to help out a lot. Alliance with the Swedes. That's a good thing to have. Okay, there we go. So that is over. Seems the Colombian army has been dispatched. Yep, Colombia's army is gone. So it's all about occupation now. The Mexicans are still fighting, but they don't have much in the way. Interesting news. Now we're going to need... We'll go with a high-pressure steam engine. I need to increase the amount of output by... well, the amount of resources I'm producing, really. Give access to the British. Okay, that's a large army. At least something of an army. There we go. That research to reduce attrition is very nice to have. Wait for those troops to finish. Okay. Good thing getting troops that come in here. I could potentially call the... call Belgium to arms, I guess I will do. Oh no, they won't do it anyway, but fine. Right, Brazil is finally moving troops. That's good news now. That's what I want to see. Split these troops up, and these two. Mexico will give in at some point. Once all hope is lost for her, she will give in. Not while she has an army, though, so we do need to completely crush that. The initial battles in the Yucatan Peninsula were very, very good. Very good for us. Good old carpet sieging. Right, we'll use our navy. Blockade Venezuela. Blockade Colombia. We'll have to wait for some of our infantry to be burnt off too. Let's have our navy spread out just to intercept anybody. Okay, the Mexicans are gaining an army. Need to put that down. Okay, he's a good commander. We'll lead the troops that we do have. Yep, once again completely destroy the Mexican army. Mexico City has fallen. We need to go for Bogota next. Brazil's occupying the other regions of the nation, the eastern regions of Colombia, so that's fine. Horrific attrition there. Okay, so we have a lot of bureaucrats here, so we're going to start to do an exchange of these national foci to soldiers. And we're going to need a lot of them. Unsurprisingly so. Dig deep and greedily. Okay. Good population growth and lower attrition. Fantastic things to have. It's a shame that we had to mobilize, but due to the mobilization we managed to be able to gather the troop numbers. It was a difficult war to begin with as we had no foreign support, but then with the annexation of the FRCA, the Colombian offensive was stalled and was turned to retreat by the advancing Colombian army. And then, through careful diplomacy, we were able to persuade the Brazilian government to intervene on our behalf. Right, that's actually really I like that. I like the fact that the Dutch are actually going for Belgium, that's sweet. At the moment, they're only dealing with Belgium. The Prussians are supporting them. So that's awesome. I'd love to see a united Netherlands again. That's great news. I apologise about the sniffing as well. Bloody colds are forever plaguing me. Okay. So Mexico is defenseless and will fall. So is Colombia. And it seems Colombia will fall first. Fantastic, fantastic. Right then. So we'll call Colombia to arms against Mexico once they're brethren. So we'll gather these armies over here. Have them hand over to San Salvador. So we'll be able to recreate New Spain. and then we'll be able to demobilize. Okay, minimum life rating, and it seems that the Mexicans are going to give in. Indeed. Right, just going to reply to a message here. Righto, so again, lower attrition, fantastic, and Mexico has given in. So we now have Spanish Mexico, basically Spanish North America. Now then, we do have the ability to begin the Reconquista, but I'm not going to do that yet, most because it actually does give me free infamy, which is not a good thing to have, and I'm receiving a phone call, so I shall be back shortly, guys. 2 moments.